Welcome to the Love Happy Hour.
Boo.
Spooky Hour.
Oh, we're going to talk about scary things going on.
The world's got scary.
It's getting scarier. And scarier. And scarier. And scarier.
Ooh, scarier. Scarier.
He's good. I kind of suck.
I'm the musician,
Yeah.
so it just comes naturally,
Yeah.
Just got that talent, I guess.
Work on that humility over there, Mingo.
What's that? I don't know.
No, it's true. You're good. He is the real deal. All right. Hey,
everybody.
welcome to the Love Happy Hour.
Yeah.
With me, Kailen Rosenberg.
And Mingo.
Producer
Myself.
Mingo. Yep, him. That guy over there. You
Yep.
haven't seen yet.
I'm
You
over
will.
here somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe.
AI, baby.
Yeah.
You never know.
Best AI in the biz.
It's so real.
Yeah, it's
What
just
fools
crazy,
me.
isn't it?
So scary.
Yeah.
Okay, so all things scary. What's been new?
My kid just turned 1.
I know, and I missed his darn birthday party.
That's okay.
I know, I suck. I suck.
No, we still had fun. We had a good
Yes.
turnout, actually. There was more people that showed up than I was expecting. So
Yeah?
it was fun. We had friends, family, and some people who brought their kids with too. So we had like a big playpen with a bunch of balls in it, and the kids were just hanging out and jamming, and
Those are the best.
it was cool. It was a good turnout.
Isn't that milestone just crazy? And then
Yeah.
how fast it went?
It's weird because I feel like it went so fast, but it also was so long. It's such a
Yeah.
paradox. It was so weird.
That's very true. It's kind of like the whole time raising kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, bam, they're 18 or they're 17 and
It's crazy because I
off
can
to college.
remember thinking like when he was super young and I had to feed him with like a little dropper to give him milk.
Wow.
And that felt like it was forever ago, but that was only
Yes.
a year ago. And it's like, what in the world?
I know.
How does that feel so long ago? But it was just last year.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What was that where you had to feed him with an eye drop?
So it was my wife's first kid, so
Yeah.
milk wasn't coming in super good, and he also didn't
Okay.
latch super good either.
Okay.
And he wouldn't do a bottle, so I had to dropper feed him.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a lot
and
of droppers.
he was born I think 2 or 3 weeks early, which isn't crazy,
Okay.
but a little earlier than was like expected.
Yeah.
But we just had to do the dropper because I think the bottle would give him too much and he would like throw it up.
Oh, man.
So I would have to like very slowly dropper feed him. And it was
Okay.
funny because I would do the night shift. So I had to
good dad.
make sure, I had to make sure
husband.
that the little bit of milk that we had would last. So I had to be very careful about how I'd feed him or else I'd have to wake my wife up because she'd have to get up and feed him. So I'd be very careful. Just give him just a little bit, make sure he doesn't throw it up because he'd have to make sure he eats it,
Yeah, something was really sensitive in his system.
Yep.
Boy, you see him now, he's just like,
He's
jolly chubby, not, healthy, beautiful. This son is so gorgeous.
He's so
and
cute.
just
Everyone
healthy.
thinks so too. It's fun. Everyone comes over like, oh my God, he's so cute.
Yeah, I know. And not only is he cute, like he's just like his dad, his mom's cool too.
Yeah.
Your wife is awesome.
Yeah.
But just like the coolest, he's a little dude. But, but smart
He's
and
funny,
deep.
man.
He's like an old soul.
Yep, he's a funny dude.
Oh, he is.
He does
I
the
love
silliest
him.
stuff and all the little things that he says. Like he kind of says words, but he just has
Yeah.
these noises and these faces that he makes.
Oh, yeah.
Like once he's 2 or 3 years old, he's gonna be cracking jokes, man. This kid, he's gonna be so funny. He's such a silly
awesome.
dude.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay, so you had the birthday.
Yep, so that
I
was
was
fun. Mm-hmm.
traveling. So I was supposed to be there. I RSVP'd, and I'm kind of notorious for this. I RSVP, I said I'm going to be there, and then I'm like, oh, shoot, something else. I got to go. I was kind of double booked on this one, too, from a long time ago and forgot and blah, blah, blah.
Oops.
But, but it all turned out, and it was that was
It was
great.
still
It was a
good.
great birthday.
Still great.
Awesome.
Yep.
So glad.
He got to do
Travel's so fun.
his smash cake too.
Yeah.
Which was so funny because we had this really
think?
elegant cake that my wife made,
Okay.
and we put it in front of him, and
Yeah.
he was so delicate. He was taking little fruits off and looking at them.
Oh, love that.
And it took him a long time, and then finally he started ripping layers off.
Oh, yeah. Just get
Took him a
all in
while to
that.
warm up. Yep, it was like too pretty. He like didn't know what to do with it. He's
Right.
like, what do I do?
Right.
He just like would touch it. Like he was just eating his hands. His hands
the
were full of
best. I always want to just like get in there.
Yep.
Right?
I wanted to help him, just like, bro, beat that thing up. Go. He was so gentle.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep, it was really funny.
Oh, I'm so grateful.
Yep.
I'm glad.
I think he had a good time too. I was a little worried that he was going to be a little overstimulated because he gets a little weird with a bunch of new people.
Sure.
But he actually did really well. Like, I was surprised. He handled it fine. We had to give him milk halfway through and give him a little break, but he did great. He loved it.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Yay.
Yeah, it was a good time.
I'm trying to think of, gosh, what's going on? Okay, so since we were last together, I have been traveling a lot.
Yeah.
And, I was
I would assume for good reasons.
very fun, very good reasons. Yes. So I was in Aspen double dutying it, which was really perfect because I have a very dear friend, former client. It was his 75th birthday party.
Okay, yeah, you told me,
and just with the best people and just amazing. And I knew that he had peeps and friends that would be perfect for one of my clients.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, okay, this is like great. And yes, it was really cute. We had a wonderful, wonderful time there. Met some really lovely men on behalf of my client. One in particular that's kind of fun. I can't talk about it out loud right now because if he's listening or they're listening, and then we'll identify him.
Yep.
God, it was like the things I want to say that were really fun and cool about this one that stood out. I would give them away, so I can't talk about that. But nonetheless, that was great. And then I was off to Dallas. My dear friend Alana Stewart, one of the families that I work with in LA, she had her fundraiser that she has every year for the Farrah Fawcett Foundation. She was best friends with Farrah.
Okay.
And so really all, Charlie's Angels, all the people fly in privately for this to just love on, support, and raise money for Stand Up to Cancer. And so that was amazing. That was a wonderful time in Dallas. Got to hang with everyone. And then we flew to Houston, and we were in Houston for a private gala and in biogenetics, and just met some amazing people there. And so for the most part, it was a wonderful, great experience, but it was also incredibly eye-opening once again as to just kind of this climate that we've been talking about in past podcasts about,
It's like people's climate, like their energy or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
People's climate, our just our planet's like emotional, spiritual, psychological climate, not not heat and cold. Well, but I get that. Yeah, I guess it's that as well. Within one's being and how we treat one another and how we're showing up. You guys, for you who are single listening, I know I have some married people that listen as well. But for you who are single, it kind of looks like you have no idea how you are truly showing up. And when we talk about scary, we're saying the theme with Halloween here is there's nothing scarier, honestly, than a really bad, painful repeat relationship, and scarier than how we are showing up with one another. And that's what's happening. So I was around a lot of famous people, a lot of really pretty people, a lot of people that have it all going on the outside. But when and this is excluding my friends. My friends are honestly, I'm very particular about who I hang with and give my energy to. So my friends they're cool, good group of people. So not these guys, but new people that I met were just. Yeah, they were showing up with all the stuff, all the look, all the things, but showing up and they thought they looked and acted and spoke totally together, and they didn't. It was frightening. No self-awareness whatsoever. So focused on the ego. So focused on the stuff. So focused on, like, there's nothing wrong with having whatever that looks good, feels good, is fun in life, blah blah blah. But what are you doing with it? How is it showing up? How generous are you in giving first with your heart, your soul, your spirit, and your truth and your character and your integrity? Be crazy generous there, and then if you want to be generous in other areas, cool. But don't make it part of your identity. And most people are just completely stuck. Their identity is stuck in all this stuff. So then they're freaking lonely.
Yeah. Do you think it's like a lack of presence, or do you think it's like like you're saying they get stuck? Like, is it just a thing where they kind of assume the role and then that sort of becomes them, and that's just like the standard routine, and they just don't look anywhere else, and they just accept that as it? And
okay.
Or they just maybe don't even consider it. They just go with it.
Right, 100%. And then they surround themselves with people that are doing the same thing and then support that.
Well, naturally, that makes sense.
So your friends, you guys, If you need to do a check-in with yourself to see how authentic and real you really are, and where is that so-called authenticity and realness coming from? What is it coming from? Why do you think you are? How are you showing up when it comes to the energy that you have and you are projecting? How are you thinking about other people? How are you treating other people, especially if you don't like them or you don't connect with something? What's coming out of your mouth? My Lord.
I feel like that's tricky too, because I think
you're blocking love all over the place, you guys. Like, you
Yeah.
are absolutely sabotaging. But go ahead, sorry.
well, I'm just thinking, in order for them to do that, there has to be some level of self-awareness, because I mean, without that, you wouldn't ever consider someone else's self. You wouldn't consider someone else's position or place, because yours is not even present to you. So then you have no reason to consider something else, because like it doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah, they get that lost.
yeah.
And I'm serious, you
And
guys.
it's kind of scary too, because then
It's so scary.
yeah.
Because you're missing life. You're losing life. And you know what? No matter what, every day, we don't know that we have tomorrow. We don't know that we have an hour from now. I mean, really, let's get real. None of us.
Yeah.
And so it's like, how are you really, really spending it? And what are you doing with it? And are you seeking to learn, to grow, to be better, to become something better? And how kind and authentic, again, authentic, how kind are you being with and toward one another? So and I guess one of the things I'll say is that, man, was there a theme? And I know that there are going to be people listening and watching as well that sadly fall into this category. And this wasn't just with the people at the parties and the galas, and this was just random people even out and about and in just like normal life. I would approach men and I'd say that I thought some that could be a really great match for one of my clients, and I'd say, first of all, I noticed you're not wearing a ring. Are you single? And I would say over half of the men that weren't wearing the ring that I asked if they were single said, well, I can be if you want me to be.
Oh, God.
Or if you need me to be.
Jeez.
I'm like,
just chill out, bro.
Yeah, no, not really. I was just asking if you are, because you don't have a ring on, and usually that's an identifier. And then they would continue on with, well, okay, I might be. Well, okay, what does that mean? So right away, you guys.
It's a pretty good yes or no question.
Do you catch that this is a game immediately? This is an energy projection to a stranger, that it lacks respect. It lacks respect for the person they're speaking to, and it lacks respect for themselves. Like they're just off in some weird land. I don't even know what this interaction is. But
it probably is a game. Like, if you think about it, it's like playing hard to get or playing some sort of like...
It's control.
Yeah.
It's control. It's domination. It's a lack of self. It's not cool. It's not sexy. It's not becoming. I don't care how hot you are, how much money you have in the bank. I'm so sorry.
Look at the movies.
And good women don't either. Huh?
The movies do that, though. I feel like it's, they play the role, and then he's all slick and he says things and like, oh, he's being so,
Yeah.
I feel like that's idolized a little bit. And then in the real world, I think maybe people do it because it's like a protective thing.
It is definitely
to be cool, or to be like to be some sort of way that's not just super direct and honest. Like, you could just say, yeah, I'm single.
Yeah.
But play a game, be the cool guy, be mysterious. I don't know like what they're trying to be, but
right. And you actually hit it on the head. I mean, if you are listening and you do this, or you're like this, or you're like, I know somebody that does that, it is actually trying to protect something. Now, that person will be so high in their ego and stuck in their ego that they'll say, and really, honestly, a deep wound. That's where this all comes from. But they'll say, oh, I'm not trying to protect myself. I'm just playing. I'm just having fun. Can't you take a joke? Can't you go with the flow?
Yeah.
No. Okay, thanks for gaslighting me, not to overuse that term. But no, so we'll go from that to, usually you'd think, well, okay, Kailen, then at this point, clearly this isn't someone for your client. This isn't someone you even want to talk to. Why don't you leave? Well, they're freaking fascinating to me. Everything is about psychology. Everything is about spirit and soul. I want to understand humans, especially right now. and the temperature of where humanity is. So I engage now, no, but not at all because I would ever consider matching this person with my client, but I want to know what the heck is going on. And then they'll take it as far as, okay, well, you know what? So that's what you do for a living. You, part of you is, you do matchmaking. Okay, cool. Tell me about these hot ladies.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, okay, well, actually, and then I say it like, and I'll never match you with her, but, and I'll describe my client. And they'll go, ooh, yeah, she sounds good. Yeah, that sounds good. I'd like,
she's hot.
I'd like to hit that. I'm like, run.
Yeah. What setting is this in? Are you at like a bar or something? At like some venue? Like
a lovely venue.
Okay.
Very distinguished people that have,
yeah, but are there drinks happening and socializing and stuff like that? Like what's
but I drink and socialize sometimes, and I don't turn into that.
And how old are these people?
Yeah.
Like 20s and 30s? Like how old are they?
From 30s up to like 80.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it just depends on the person, but I mean, I think that's kind of the culture a little bit. Like if you are single and you're in that environment.
No wonder Match.com and everything is doing so well, and people are running to me.
I feel like it happens a lot. Like,
it's getting worse and worse.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know what, I think it's a lot of stuff. I think it's just people being afraid to really be themselves.
Amen.
And then I think there's also just a big area of like I said, it's in movies, it's all over social media. Like there's this culture of just being a certain kind of way that's cool or suave or mysterious, and it's all sexualized and like
it's immediately sexualized.
So like I think
with men.
Yeah, well, of course with men, it's like the first thing. It's automatic, I think, for almost all men.
It is with regard to your brains.
Yeah.
You can't help it. Mm-hmm. It's okay. That part's normal and healthy. It's
how they express it.
There you go.
Yeah. It's hard. That to me is like an immature thing. It's adolescent sort of thing that you need to like grow out of.
Right.
Yeah, which is hard. I can say for myself, it's hard. You got to like domesticate a little bit. You
have to domesticate a lot.
Yeah.
But then what I'll do is I'll break them down. I will work them.
And they don't even know it.
I don't think they do.
No.
Because next thing I know, then they're opening up. Mm-hmm. And then some of them are tearing up. Mm-hmm. Because I'm not going to take that shit.
Yeah.
And because I care about them too much. And that person will be like, well, I don't care if you care about them or care about me because I don't need you to care about me. No, we all in humanity actually kind of do need to care about one another. We really do. Mm-hmm. We really do. Life would be easier and better that way. Not bad.
Yeah.
It's
more
okay.
than we think, yeah.
Yeah, it's okay to be kind again once. Call each other to something.
It's okay to be kind. Don't forget.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And to call each other to something higher and better because it affects all of us. So when I finally break them down, show them with my face, with my tone, with my words, I'm not interested. Actually, I'm turned off now by everything you said. I actually now feel sorry for you. And I don't mean that in a mean, condescending way. I really feel sorry for you. I feel bad for you. And then they'll get into some reality about, well, you know what, the last woman, it's always the last woman did this and this and this and this to me. Okay, but you chose her. Why'd you choose her? And what did you show up as? Any of this? Like on any level? Was this a sexualized relationship? Yeah, probably. Was this a transactional relationship? I mean,
probably.
And all relationships are transactional, but there's healthy transaction. That's just human nature transaction, and spirit transaction, and soul transaction. And then there's high-level ego wound transaction, narcissistic transaction. And that's where most of these were. And so not only with the men, but then with the women, literally. And so when I would speak to women, or women would find out, again, who I am or what I do, or they'd hear about me, and that I was at a certain place, they'd come up to me and, again, immediately telling me how amazing they are. Let me learn that about you.
Yep.
And like, I got all this. I bring all this. And attractive women, pretty women, great bodies, great clothes, great. I have my my doctorate in this. I'm the senior partner of such and such. Okay, find me a man. I'll meet your men. And I'm like, no, you won't. Once again, that is not what my clients are coming to me for. They can find that all day long.
Yeah,
and
right.
Again,
go to the bar.
Yeah, and it's not that you are a bad person. But look at how you're, again, pay attention to how you're showing up. Is this...
It kind of makes me think of like, occasionally I'll see some podcasts or some stuff where they'll have conversations with, and there's one specific one, I have no idea what it's called, but there's always a bunch of chicks, and they'll ask them and they'll tell them to rate themselves, and you'll have the very average one like, I am a 10, I am tip top, I am the best anybody ever wants. And you see that and you're like, oh, okay, that's some weird confidence, I get that, but I almost feel like I would be more into it if she was like, I am totally a 6 and I love it. And I'm the hottest 6 you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
If you were super just honest with yourself towards people, I feel like that would be more of a turn on than pretending to be something that you're not, or like fooling yourself and then shoving it in people's faces of like, oh, I'm this and I'm that and I'm hotsy-totsy.
Yeah.
Kind of like what the people you're saying, and maybe they are super hot, but it's like to sort of boast yourself like that. Like that's already going to intimidate people and make people put up a barrier automatically just by being the way you're being, like, ooh, it's like scary. I don't even know how to talk to you because you're so overloaded with your ego and
yourself.
Yeah, like holy crap, where am I going to fit?
Yeah. No, I hear you and I agree with you. I think even though with that, it's like, okay, we're placing a number on ourselves.
Well, that too. That's
right?
I mean, that's the whole, it's preconditioned
right?
to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I mean, okay, so then that helps segue into another. So we'll do the other flip side of scary. And it's funny because, here, as a relationship expert, as a coach, as an elite matchmaker, I will work with the press from time to time. Actually, I have a big tour coming up. I'm super excited across the country. We'll get into that later. Where they're asking for my advice and my thoughts on love and people and behavior and how we sabotage. And one of the things that I then heard on the flip side, so then, of course, there are still really kind, good people out there. Honestly, though, they're so few and far between. The majority are not. The majority are showing up, honestly, in the way that I've been expressing. So then you meet that really sweet guy, that good guy that's just kind of humble and real, and he's been knocked around a little bit, and he's done some spiritual growth, and he's really genuinely looking for a really good woman who's just authentic and real and has worked on some of her shit. And they'll say a man's number one complaint over and over, especially recently, was, I never, I'll meet a woman online or I'll meet a woman through a friend and we'll start communicating over text or maybe on the phone, and then they'll send me photos of themselves. This is the guy talking about the female. And they'll be gorgeous. According to the guy, gorgeous, stunning, and I'm having a great conversation and we're getting ready to meet and I can't wait. And then they show up to the place and they're sitting there and looking all around. They have no idea that the person they've been talking to and getting all these photos from or receiving these photos is actually like right waiting, like, to be seen and have him summon her over. They're unrecognizable because, and you'd think I'd know this. I've heard this. I've heard this complaint for a long time, but I'd never really, really paid deep enough attention because I'm off doing different things that are a little more important than this crap. But of this issue with women just showing photos, apparently it's Snapchat. Something that's been around forever now.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
All women, or not all, the majority of women are using Snapchat that has these crazy filters that make you you don't even look like yourself, or you're such a crazy version of what you're not, but you, I guess, in your sadness or ego or whatever would want to be, or what clearly project to be. And they're sending these photos to these guys, and the guys are like, yeah, wow, I hit the jackpot.
It doesn't do anything because you still have to face the person. Yeah, like that doesn't. That makes no sense.
So the men are like, okay, like you totally misrepresented yourself.
Yep.
And then you show up as if I shouldn't be shocked that I have no idea who you are. And now it's not even that you're not as remotely, not even near as attractive as the photos you've been sending, but you're even less attractive now. This is what the men are thinking about you women that do this crap, that really dumb yourself down and your true beauty down, who you really are, what you really look like. Like you got two people that want to meet and fall in love and have life together, which is a lot of stuff. And so the men are just turned off because of the lack of authenticity. So now they're just like, well, I don't even know what else. Like from our conversation wasn't real.
Souped up.
Yeah, totally, like way souped up. And so anyway, but I was talking about this with one of my friends, and she's like, well, here, you've never done Snapchat. Let me show you. So we did it together.
Yeah.
And I could see that you could literally, if you hadn't done enough work and healing and your self-identity and your true values and where they come from, you could actually become addicted to it
Oh, yeah.
and lost in it and start to believe you look like that.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what's showing up in the photo. So at first I'm like, holy crap, I didn't know I could look like that. And then it was, she'd be like, okay, this one and this one. And the funniest one, I have to show you later, was a dude, like me as a dude.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, hey.
I look pretty good as a guy.
I would totally date myself. I wasn't married. No. No. And, but then what I noticed, which was crazy because it turned into kind of a funny thing, it was like, oh my gosh, this is so sad. This is what women are sending guys. Like, it's not even close to real. It's not even what I look like. And then all of a sudden, after we were doing it for about, honestly, like 45 minutes just playing and laughing, and some make us look like Miss Piggy, and then some make us look like we're from the crypt. I mean, so it's not just like, trying to look beautiful. I literally, from seeing myself like that, I got up, I went into the bathroom to wash my hands. I looked into the mirror, and I saw myself as ugly.
Oh, no. You experienced it.
I did. I saw myself as ugly, and I saw myself as flawed. And all of a sudden, I was like, oh, what's in the mirror? For like a split second. I'm like, oh.
It's cool that you had to, like, experience that.
Is that not scary?
I bet you that's what they experience, and they just avoid it.
I don't know. And it was like, it happened in seconds, and I'm like, oh, wait, stop, Kailen. No. Okay, cool. Hey, you friend. I'm saying to myself, hey, friend, sorry I did that to you. I love you. Like, who cares? Like, we're good. And I walked away, and I just said, man, this is an effing psychological trip that women are doing to themselves, dumbing themselves, their natural beauty, their values, way down. Women, stop it. Start just being yourself. Send photos that are not touched up at all. Just be you. So there's that.
I think these apps and stuff like that have an unfair advantage because we weren't really built. Like, I feel like our whole existence up until, like, right now, we've never had anything like that. And now we're being given those things, and it's just, like, dopamine overload, You're just like, oh, I can be I can be someone who I'm totally not, and I can be hotter than I am. And
there you go.
Or whatever they think hot is, like, I don't know, like,
it's fake.
Perfect skin. It's just...
Yeah, it's fake.
But when you say addicted, like, that's totally what it is. People are addicted to just going on YouTube videos and saying mean things, or trying to crack a joke that'll get like 17 likes, like
I know it.
So there's all of that stuff I feel like it hits a really deep sweet spot in our like biology somewhere that just makes you want it. Yeah. And everyone's doing it. It's got everybody.
Yeah, it's and then women are comparing themselves constantly, and not that we haven't already done this, which is sad enough. That's just so stupid and got to stop. It has no value, no power in it. But, so women are all comparing themselves to one another, and all women are starting to frickin' morph into each other. They all look alike, especially with these darn filters. Every darn woman looks like just some high-end stripper call girl, like sexual fantasy to a man. Is that really what you want to be? Really, women? Come on, really?
Well, and then if you look at the ones who do Botox a lot and get the fillers, and they all look like the same woman.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it doesn't matter if they're old or young. Yep, they all look the same. It's like, oh, you're all just, there's like one collection of like this type of woman, and they're all trying to be like that, and it's really weird. I don't know. But the thing is, it's
saying I'm not good enough as I am.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But I think there are plenty of guys and women out there who are into it, who are like, yes, that's what I want.
But those are the men that are doing the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm single.
So they're on the same level.
Should I be?
They're on the same level. They're on the same plane of existence where it's sort of one step removed or many steps removed.
And vibrating, you guys, at a very, very, very low energetic frequency, and that only lasts, even that, if you get any rush or high off of that, it only lasts so long, and you are miserable. And at a certain point, I'm sorry, you can't hide it. You just can't hide it. And we do age. And I don't care after a certain time. I don't care how old you get. At a certain point, Botox doesn't look so great anymore. Filler doesn't work so well anymore. Big, huge fake boobs don't show up so well anymore.
Or the face work, you can see some people have just done too much. Like, whoa, your cheekbones are messed up, dog. You need to slow down.
Well, and we're not laughing at you. I mean, hey, I've been there in the past. I used to do fillers, and I hate it. And I did it once on my lips. My husband's like, babe, I love you, but you look like a duck. Yeah, I mean, I'm serious. That was the last time I put that in. And, and when I did, my Botox is gone now. But when I did the Botox, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't move my face. I don't know if I'm happy or sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, all the above, all at once.
Yeah. So it's like, come on, let's just start with being authentic, real, meet your person there, fall in love there. And then, hey, if you want to tweak some stuff here and there, it's fun. But you know that at least the foundation was real. I don't know. I don't judge people that have work done. It's just, where is it coming from? What's the purpose? What's the reason behind it? And are you, in your mind, are you only beautiful or feeling okay if you have all those things and alterations done? If that's the case, run for the hills from yourself to go get some healing and help and wellness. And I say that genuinely with love. And that's a lot of the work that I do with my clients as well. Or I have, great peers that are therapists and psychotherapists and that I can connect you with. Okay, then let's flip to the other side. But go ahead. What do you want to say?
Well, I was just going to say, I think that stuff is also pretty easy to get caught up into, especially if you have friends and people. Like if it's a whole group, everyone's going to compare and share like, oh, did you do? And look at mine. Look at, you're going to not be part of the crew. You're going to have to like, you want to fit in. I feel like there's a fit in part. There's also an element of like you do it and then you look great and you're like, wow, that made me feel good.
Yeah.
I need to feel good again. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
It's like going to the gym,
Yeah.
except you don't go to the gym. You just go somewhere and they give you some toxins and
Biceps.
Yep. Just fill them up, Doc. Let's go.
Calf implants.
Yep.
Again, no shade. Not throwing shade. I really am throwing love. Mingo, and I know Mingo, he's throwing love too. We're just saying, come on, at some point, please, please, please. Nothing in life is truly, genuinely happy or fulfilling if you go down that rabbit hole too far, or even at all, but for sure too far. Now let's flip to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So, women, number one, how much money does he make? Is he hot? How tall is he?
That's still on that same level,
Number one.
that same frequency.
You guys, it's like if I were being sassy and cold and cruel, I'd say you guys deserve each other, but you don't. I want everyone happy. I want all of you to have the real stuff. That's why I'm so particular about who I work with in my matchmaking. So, I mean, I don't just, you can't just buy me. I have to know you want real love. I have to know you're ready for real love. I have to know that you're open to letting me help you prepare for real love, the real stuff, the good stuff. So, the lasting. But then women will complain and they'll say, well, I sent, they asked me to send pictures, so I sent the pictures of myself. And I'll be like, let me see the pictures you sent. Okay, snapshot, crap.
Yep.
And then look what he sent. Dick pics.
Oh, no.
Who wants to see a guy's dick?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. And some of you women might be like, me? No.
I think there's a very small portion of women that actually want to see that.
They do.
They
do.
But there's a very tiny, I can't imagine that there's very many women who want like a dick
I don't want
pic.
to see my guy.
Exactly,
if I haven't met a
no.
guy, I want to be surprised. I want to fall in love with him first. Go ahead.
I just feel like men are just so obsessed with their own dicks.
It's
I just think that's what it
weird.
is. I think that's to them, they're like, oh, this is going to be hot. I'm going to send a boner.
No.
It's so
No.
stupid. I would never, like, why, I just don't know why that would turn a woman on. I think men think like themselves. So like, oh, she's probably going to get turned on by
Well,
this.
but a healthy man, and emotionally, I'm being straight, you guys, sorry. An emotionally healthy man who has evolved and is mature would never, ever send a picture of his dick. I'm
Nope.
sorry. He just wouldn't. He doesn't
Maybe
need
if it's
to.
requested, he might.
No, he wouldn't. He has too much self-respect. He wouldn't stick
that's probably true.
He wouldn't literally stick that out there.
Yep.
For other people to share with others and then get on the internet and then be mocked and then have funny faces drawn on it. They shrink it up and make it look all crazy through a Snapchat. Guess what, buddy?
Yep.
So it's like, that is scary. That is, again, we're talking about what's scary today.
Mm-hmm.
So that's scary. And I have to say one thing that's kind of funny. A friend of mine had a very famous guy who a lot of women like and have a major crush on. Hit her up on private message or whatever. Look at DM, whatever. I'm so out of it. I love
My
it.
DMs.
Yeah. And he's, and she thought at first, and all of her friends thought that it was, like catfish, or wasn't really, like, it couldn't be him. There's no way. Well, it turned out it was. And she, ended up meeting him. And so, again, very famous. And, again, women just adore this guy. And he comes off super wholesome. Like mom and dad would want you to bring him home type guy.
But in real life?
But in real life, after just a couple dates and nothing sexual at all or anything, my girlfriend's a sweetie pie, he sends the famous or infamous dick pic. This guy.
Gotta make the move, man.
Where you can see that it's him. Not even you could say,
bro.
well, that's not mine.
Jeez.
And then
You just
let's
went
be honest.
Full send, huh?
It was not an attractive one.
I mean, I don't know what the pose is. I don't know what pose you need for it to be a good one.
You have to put it on a little lounge thing with some pillows
you gotta,
behind it.
Flex an arm at the same time or something.
Put a smiley face on it.
Yep, perfect.
Lashes.
Little bow. Yeah.
Bows are cute on them.
Yep. See.
You know your stuff.
Yeah,
No wonder
I know.
you're married.
Yep.
He's taken. Sorry,
Yep,
ladies.
I sent out the pic. Had to lock it in.
Oh my, clearly worked.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, no, but seriously, so my girlfriend, first of all, was so turned off that he sent that. And then second of all, she's like, yeah, and this is probably not one you'd want to send. And she wasn't meaning to be mean, but it was
Yeah.
like, let's put him in his place.
Uh-huh.
Let's just get the ego in check.
Yep.
Man, sorry, but that was like, not that it wasn't already a turn off to have him send it, but what it looked like was not fabulous. And so you guys, I'm trying to help you out. I really, really, really am.
Yep.
Yeah. So what else we have going on over there? Ting.
Oh yeah, ting.
Little.
So I mean, I know we talked about some scary stuff. Is there anything else would you say that's truly scary? Is that the scariest for you?
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot that's scary that's going on. Again, we're how many days? 5 days? 5 days away from
Be 5 or 6. Yeah. What is it today?
the 30th.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, we're 6.
So 6 days away.
Yep. Which I'm ready
From
to be
finding
done.
out.
I'm ready to done seeing ads of hate.
Yeah, but it's going to keep going no matter what each side.
mean, yeah.
Because no matter who wins,
We just won't get no more commercials.
half it's going to
during
be, our
football.
country's going to be pissed. No, I agree with that.
Yep.
Right? That'll settle down.
Yep.
But it will be continually in the press. And
Yeah.
there's going to be, regardless of who wins.
There's going to be some weird stuff that goes on with no matter who wins. I think.
Massive hangover.
Yep.
It's going to be really, really sad.
Yep.
And I don't mean to put negative energy out there. I wish it could be different. Number one, I'm not going to say who I'm voting for, but I'll tell you that whoever wins, whether I voted for them or not, we have to energetically support them. And I know there's so many of you that are like, no frickin' way, I'm not supporting that person. I didn't vote for them. They're awful.
Yeah, but
you know what? We have no choice. You have no choice. So you know what? Energy.
If you
Come on.
support the country, you kind of have to. Like, if you're just
Yeah.
going to boycott because of,
It doesn't
whether
help. It keeps it going.
and it doesn't matter who it
poison.
is, they're going to do something good. Even if they make
You know
some
what? That's beautiful,
some choices
Mingo.
that you don't like, they're going to do something good. Like, they can't, I don't know.
You know what? I just like that you're putting that energy out there. I really, really do.
Yeah.
But you guys, really, the thoughts are powerful, words are powerful. Whether you believe in quantum physics or law of attraction or not, or just the true scientific proof of the power of thought, mind, energy. We just, bottom line, I'm kind of begging you, let's just support whoever we have. Let's send them healing, even if they're awful, even if they're an awful person and they're just nasty. Let's just send them loving, healing energy. And I'm not meaning to be woo-woo. I'm being serious. And let's support one another, and let's just say, hey, okay, everybody, I don't know, it doesn't even matter who you voted for anymore because the person's in. Let's high five each other. Let's hug each other. Let's hug it out. Let's love each other. Let's be the people, as I've said before in past podcasts, and let's see what we, the people, can all do together to make as much right as we can, regardless of who's running this country. And so kind of where I was going with that is that what's scary in one sense is you could say, oh, well, what's scary is who might be president. But at the same time, you just have to go to something higher. And for me, it's God. It's just and just trusting in His will, and that He allows us to just kind of free fall it.
Yeah.
Because He's given us the direction, and it's up to us as to whether or not we want to follow it. And when we don't follow it and we're off His path, then that's when shit happens. And that's okay. He's lovingly waiting for us to come back to Him. But at the same time, we need a little discipline as humans and in our ego and all of that.
Especially nowadays, too. I feel like we're all a little lazy. Everything's so, especially I feel like in America, too, I feel like we're blessed with too much convenience. To the point to where it's just like...
Yeah, we're poisoning ourselves, actually.
Yeah. And it's inconvenient to be kind. It's more convenient to just be upset or just to hate that person because of whatever...
Oh, that could segue back to the church.
Yeah.
And Christian
stuff. Well, let's hear it.
So,
What do you got? What about Christians? What's going on?
So I had said to my son and to some other people recently, like something that that's been really powerful and important for me is my Christian faith. And someone who's come from a background of all different kinds of faiths and religions and spirituality and living on communes growing up in ashrams, and I've experienced a lot, and yet at the end of the day, and beauty and good in all of that, literally no weird experiences, no bad experiences, like really just I was blessed to just experience love in all of those. Yet at the end of the day, when I heard a loud voice and asked who or what it was, I heard Jesus. It was Jesus. And again, if you ever just go in, regardless of what your beliefs are, if you just go and read his Sermon on the Mount, I mean, man, we've talked about that before too.
Yep.
Can't say it enough. Like, you just follow that stuff. You just follow that mindset and that heart set.
See, and I feel like the essence of that is in all the religions somewhere.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's the seed.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Well,
but what man did with it?
Well, I think man made religion.
Man made religion.
Turned it into a business. Turned it into
man-made Christianity. I'm really finding. So this is where I'm going with it. So, since I was little, like, I'm a Christian. I called myself a Christian. Thought if someone said to me they were a Christian, I mean, I've been naive and ignorant. I say that with love and respect, but I've been naive and ignorant with regard to what Christian means up until recently. And so I was, so proud to say I was a Christian. If I met somebody who said they were a Christian, I'm like, hey, high five, brother, sister. Yay, that means you're an amazing person that loves Jesus and you're good. Boy, was that naive and ignorant. And again, not throwing shade again, not meaning to,
Yeah, but it's honest, though. Like,
my
there are a lot of people that just be that because that's what they were told they are, or they do it because it makes them feel good.
Yeah, but it's almost like an ego raise.
Yeah.
It's weird. I'm sorry.
It's a filter. It's like the filters. They put it on. It makes it feel good.
There you go. Yeah.
They feel righteous.
It's just like Snapchat.
Yeah.
For way, way, way too many Christians. Are you that kind of Christian? I'm being serious. You're probably going to... Honestly, I'm not joking. Too Christian, you're probably going to feel hate toward me. And this is part of what I'm talking about. If you're really a knower of Jesus, a lover of Jesus, if you follow him, believe him, walk his words, walk his talk, walk that, you couldn't feel hate toward me. Mm-hmm. You could feel sadness, frustration, anger toward things that I do or say.
Yeah, but you wouldn't turn it into hate and throw it.
Yeah, you wouldn't throw it. Like Mingo said, you wouldn't throw it, and you would actually take it to love, and you'd bring it to prayer, and genuine prayer, not egotistical prayer or self-righteous prayer. Mm-hmm. And so I had a situation recently. I've been working on, and I'll get back to what I said to my sons, but I've been working on, and it was put on my heart to start a Christian singles ministry to match and to Christians with one another to become equally yoked so that they could have a really beautiful Christ-centered relationship and marriages and families, whether it was first time around or second or third time around. Like, to me, that's the grace and the blood of Jesus. That's where that peace and forgiveness can be. But nonetheless, so I've had some really successful goes with it or runs with it, and some great events, and in general, great response. But also a lot of shade and hate, literally, thrown toward me from Christians and biblical Christians and Christians that literally carry a book and look up the passage and throw it in my face with hate and vengeance and venom instead of like love or, hey, I hear what you're saying, Kailen, or I see what you're doing, but here's something I found in Scripture in the Bible, and I just wanted to share it with you just so we could share this together and kind of both learn from this, or maybe I can teach you something, Kailen. No. It's shade, it's hatred,
just to,
it's
justify
icky,
the position.
It's with just the most bizarre, darkest energy.
Yeah.
And over and over and over, and I will say primarily with women.
Weird.
Women. And I even had... And one of the biggest things that's really, really sad.
Do you think it's because you're a woman?
Yeah.
So they're just, that's interesting.
Yeah, women are nasty with one another in general.
Yeah.
They got their peeps in their circles, but they can be just nasty. It's so sad.
Sneaky.
Like, that's a whole other ADD thing. But, when you're standing in line to go to the bathroom and women walk in, I'll get back to what I was saying. Women will be in line in the bathroom. And it's like, I feel like in the guys' bathroom, the guys come in with a line, they're like, hey, what's up, dude?
Yeah, we're high-fiving each other,
I was gonna say high five,
what's up, bro?
Yeah.
Woo,
the women, it's like,
They snoot each other.
What are you wearing? What do you look like? Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're wearing that. Oh, you look like that. Look at her hair. Look at her this. Look at her. And you
So
can
cliquey.
see they look at each other with like just, and then
That's
they
so-
whisper and they laugh and they point at a stranger and someone who can't, something they can't help or it shouldn't
Yeah.
even matter. And I'm always the one in there. Don't say that. That's not nice. Oh no. But okay, I way digress. So bring it back. So one woman came up to me and she just said, and along with many, we feel you are a hypocrite, Kailen.
Oh, really? They give you some reason?
I'm like, sweet. I love being called out. I mean, like, hey, tell me
Yeah,
what you
tell
feel.
me what's up.
I love you. I care about you. Call me out. I'm here to learn and grow constantly too. Like, I know a lot. I've learned a lot. I help a lot of people, but I don't know everything. And I'm always, like I say, I'm a teacher, but I am a lifelong student. And I was excited to learn something new, especially so I can grow. But nonetheless, many people just, well, you're a hypocrite. You have no right. This is what with mean tones. You have no right to be teaching and promoting equally yoked marriages and couples when you're married to a Jew.
Bro.
And I'm like,
Okay.
okay, well, first of all, our Jesus is a Jew.
Let's
Let's not be hating on our Jewish Jesus.
Yeah, I don't get the whole Jew thing. Like, I don't understand why that's such a conflict. Like, I've never understood it. People say stuff, and I don't get what's the deal with that. Like, why is Christianity and
It's deep.
yeah, I
It's
don't.
deeply rooted. It's a lot. I have compassion around it. I have
Yeah.
understanding around it. I have respect for their experience, their opinion, their feelings, their beliefs. I do. It's how you go about it. If you are, again, doing this and throwing this out with pain and shame on the person and hatefulness and judgment, as opposed to seeking to understand or going to prayer or knowing that we don't all or always know everything. Right? Only God knows. And God has designed, and God has his plan. And so, so I'm like, okay, well, you do know that Jesus is a Jew. And then they roll their eyes. And then I say, well, and here's the deal. My husband, like, the Jews have been more persecuted than anyone for believing in God and loving God, the very God that Jesus is like my Father in heaven. Like, this is the man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is someone to love. And then I'll even be as honest to say, hey, yeah, I could say that it would be easier for me as a Christian to be, and I don't mean to be disrespectful doing this, but I'm starting to really not love that word. I kind of think it's just like, don't say it, show it. If you're
Yeah.
a Christian, we should see it through the fruits, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your behavior. So it's like I'm just saying, okay, this is this amazing man who loves God, believes in God. But yes, I suppose maybe kind of it'd be easier if he believed in Jesus, but no, not really, because guess what? Like the majority of marriages that are out there that are divorcing both believe in Jesus, and they're both, they're equally yoked. And there are equally yoked people in marriages that are both Christian, that are having affairs, that are abusing each other, that are molesting children, that have sex addiction. Like all the stuff that is out there in the so-called, what we call, or Christians will say, secular world. You have the same, excuse my language, shit in your own lives, in your own marriages. Get out of the way, let Jesus come in, and let him do what you called him into your heart and your life to do. And stop, again, it just, So I just looked at her and I just said, I'm really sorry you feel that way. I get it. I respect you. I love you, sister in Christ, but you're not acting Christ-like. Mm-hmm. And to see more and more of that than ever before, this self-righteousness. Again, we're supposed to be righteous, not self-righteous.
I don't know what they grab onto because there's like this weird element to it where they learn a couple of facts or a couple of verses or a couple of lines, and then they really hold them as like absolute. And it's like you have to. The words don't even really. I mean, the words are words, and they're powerful. But I feel like when it really comes down to it, the only one that really matters is love.
Amen.
So like if you just act from that,
Amen.
all of those things, you wouldn't have to be upset by anything. Like if someone's genuinely trying to bring two people together to be in love, whether it's about Christ or not,
Yeah.
God is in there regardless. You can be non-religious
Ultimately,
and
that's
you can
true.
find God with your spouse. Like
That's right.
it's and to me that just sounds like it's just there's a level of ego there that's commandeered the spiritual system on some level, and it's using that as like a belief, and then it like fights with it, like, and it's it's interesting, and I think maybe people literalize stuff sometimes too much, to the point where they take the majesty or like the essence of it out, and they turn it into like practical terms.
Yeah.
And then it becomes confusing, and then they're like, well, that doesn't make sense. How can you be like this and be that? And it's like, well, they're not really saying those things. You need to look at the bigger picture and really like look deeper, or just be more, I don't know, because I think there's a lot of Christians, like when you're saying there's a lot of married Christians, but they're doing a bunch of sinful things.
Yeah. That equally yoke thing didn't change it.
Well, and I think that some of the churches don't always encourage good communication for people to talk about those things.
There you go.
For them to like actually work on them.
Too sugar-coated, I'm sorry.
They like cover it up. They shove it away, and like, we don't.
Yep.
If you're a problem, then we're going to put you over here in the problem corner. And they kind of like ostracize you a little bit. And even if it's not direct, sometimes it's very subtle, and like, you get clicked out a little bit because you're the one doing the weird things or cheating or whatever it is.
Yep.
Which is so opposite of what it's supposed to be. Like, those are the people who need the most help.
Yeah.
Like, they should be loved the most.
Yes,
like,
amen. And why Jesus, game. And yes, and bringing it back kind of full circle in this part of the conversation. So with my sons, I'm just like, hey, I'm having a hard time with the word Christian and the term Christian right now.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to truly have my relationship with Jesus. He's absolutely 100% real to me. I absolutely believe in what the Bible says about Jesus in the New Testament. I absolutely believe it all, and very much in within the parables, and just spiritually, that's what rings true to me, along with a lot more, but ultimately Him. But it is a very personal, beautiful, tight relationship, and that we all need to have. I mean, and yet no judgment for people who don't, right?
Yeah.
But this hatred crap and this judgment crap, just even for Christians against others and others against Christians, and you're a Christian. I mean, I had some people, I did something about, after that whole event in Israel last year, I was in tears, and I did an Instagram piece, and I was, in tears, and I was praying out loud for the hostages, and I had a lot of hate, a lot of private messages or DMs that were of hate, saying, "Oh, I used to like you. I'm going to unfollow you now because I used to think you were smart and intelligent, but you believe in some weird entity and that doesn't exist in the clouds." And I'm like,
"Okay,
all right, hon, I love you. Okay, you can unfollow me. That's okay. I'm not going to be upset or hurt, or I'm just going to keep sending you love. Just keep sending you love. I mean, genuinely, not sending you love. No, genuinely sending you love." So I just responded to her with all of that, and I just said, all I'll tell you is that my Jewish husband and I have a really cool relationship, especially when it comes to our connection with God, and we get on our knees, and when times are hard, we lock arms and we fold our hands and we pray out loud together, and I think that's pretty cool and beautiful, and I'm grateful for that. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, we can flip the script here. I know you were talking about some sort of national PR tour.
As I'm drinking.
Yeah. Okay. Go. Wow, that was a deep subject. Yeah. Let's ting. Something about a tour to find a client love or something.
I'm curious. This in a little while.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means,
but it's so fun. I can't give my secret sauce away, but yes, I am getting ready to go on a national tour on behalf of a new client to find her man. So you guys, if this is you or someone you know, I'm only going to tell you what I'm looking for. You're just going to have to trust me. I've been doing this for almost 30 years. I'm very, very, very good at what I do, and that's not ego. It's just like Mingo's good at what he does.
10,000 hours. You put it in. You put the time in. You just.
Yeah, I'm good and I'm good because I not just that I care. A lot of people care. I go deep. Like I said,
I'm from the right space.
Yeah. And I, I've done this long enough to know who's attracted to who. I know the ego part, the game. Yep. That people need to have in there. You probably see through it all. But I see through all of it, and I'm here, bottom line, to match you with the right person and to get you guys out of your way so you can have all that awesome stuff with the compatibility and in every area. And anyway, so I'm very excited. So I'm not going to tell you about my client at all. I'm not going to give any part of her away. You're just going to have to trust that, yes, she is amazing. And any man would be absolutely beyond thrilled to be with her. And she would be a blast. So I'm looking for men age 60 to 70 that are vibrant, healthy, mentally and physically and spiritually, that are in great shape. She's in incredible shape, and she's super athletic, and she's freaking on the go and high energy. And so she really desires that as well, so she can play and have fun. And you have to have some money of your own, because she has some, and she doesn't want to be the purse, with all due respect. She wants to be able to play, but whatever. It's not about the money. It's just that whatever you've done you've been successful, and you enjoy and you love what you do or what you did if you're retired. Or if this is your dad or your grandpa or a business partner. Spiritual, loves to travel all over the world, has a good sense of humor, likes to laugh, doesn't take life too seriously, yet can be serious when need be, wants to make this world a better place. A lot of people could say, well, that's everybody, isn't it? Don't those things sort of... No, but just dig deep into your heart. So if you're 60 and up and you are ready for an amazing woman and to fall deeply in love and to kind of do this last chapter of your life in an amazing way, reach out to me. Go to thelovearchitects.com and let me know. So that's the tour. So I'm going to be going across the country and holding private events and screenings and interviews and some parties.
It's kind of hardcore. You just do a whole tour, huh?
Oh yeah, and partnering with the press and it's neat.
Yeah.
But literally every time I've done this, they end up falling in love. Like I find my person
that's
find the
cool
person
too.
for
Yeah.
It's neat. It's so much fun. Let's see what else.
Well, I think we can do. I think we had a listener question too.
Oh, good, cool. What was that?
Let's see what we got here. So it says.
Actually, hold on before you do that.
Yep.
So here's the deal. I know that a lot of what I was saying earlier could be really controversial, especially to Christians that are listening or watching. If there's anything that I said that you don't like, or you're like, oh my Lord, I'm so turned off, or I can't believe she said that, or I totally don't agree with her or with me, let us know. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's totally talk about it, because this is what we need to do. Instead of seeing or hearing behaviors or words from other people and then that we're uncomfortable with and just judging it and then casting hate again and then creating that ball of hatred and energy that then just spreads, we should all be just talking things out, talking them through, seeking to understand. I care about what you think and what you feel, not for my sense of identity or to be okay, not codependent, but I do care because I care about you and I care about humanity and I care about all of us seeking to understand and learn about one another so we can all kumbaya it. So don't be afraid. Like, I'm not kidding. I will purposely look for things that are mean and bad that people say about me online and social. That's the fun stuff. Most people avoid that like the plague. I love it because I can't wait to respond to you. And just out of curiosity, cool, you hate my guts and you think I'm fake. Sweet, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so.
Send us something.
Let us know if you want. Yeah. At producer at KailenRosenberg.com.
Correct.
It'd be happy or easier.
What?
Producer at the Love Happy Hour. Why haven't we done that?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
I think we might want to create. We're a little slow over here.
That's all right. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Where
It's our weekly cocktail slows us down.
Yeah. Let's blame it on that.
Okay.
All
So
right.
question.
So we have a question. No name.
Okay.
It says, "Hi, Kailen and Mingo. Love your show.
Cool.
I know this isn't a question about love, but it is about breakups. What is the best way to break up with a friend, and how do you know when it's time to do so? My friend and I have been hitting wall after wall, and it's no longer enjoyable for me to be around her.
Ooh.
Please advise. Love your advice."
Okay.
So what do you got?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, breakups with
It's a friend.
friends.
Yeah, it's friendship. Can't say I've ever been in a situation where I've had to break up with a friend.
Oh, I have.
Yeah, maybe that's a girl thing.
Value thing too.
I feel like guys will just fight it out, or they just don't talk to each other, and that's it.
Guys
are pretty simple.
It out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, I think just as with a natural breakup, it doesn't have to be a romantic or a friend or anything. It's just the minute it's no longer feeling good, It's no longer honoring you or your experience in life or your value system, or you're just feeling like a disconnect to the point of where it's just not enjoyable anymore and you just don't feel connected. And I don't know if you've tried talking it out. That's the first thing I would do is I would recommend, and again, maybe you've already done this, but if not, if they have been a friend, and I don't know how long you two have been friends, but if they have been a friend, go to them and just say, hey, I'm at the point, this sucks, this is tough. I've been friends with you for a while or for a long time, and I care about you and I've had fun with you, but it's no longer feeling good, and here's why. And what do you think about that? Are you feeling the same way? And if this continues for me, for my value system, maybe we should just kind of part ways. Maybe we just kind of had our moment and it was cool. Thank you. So you don't have to do it with hate. Again, this hate's a big, we're using that term a lot in this podcast, but do it with love. Just do it with love for yourself, number one. Do it with love for them, and decide if maybe you're just on two different paths and journeys and it just doesn't feel so good anymore. Life is short, and just lovingly let them go. Literally, lovingly let them go. But I say that about all breakups. That's how it should be. It shouldn't be like, I can't stand that person. My ex was awful. You're not going to go on and on talking about how awful your friend was. Every time you have a new friend, oh, my old friend was awful.
Yeah.
No. So I don't know. I mean, just trust your heart, seek to understand, share, see if you can communicate. Maybe you can get through it and work through it. If not,
I think
time
being
to let
honest.
them go. It's okay.
Yeah, like being open and honest.
I agree.
Probably
Yeah,
makes the most sense.
Because they did ask you as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think what you were saying is great, and I think. If I was in a situation where I actually felt that way, it might be the toughest choice, but the best one would be to just be straight up with them and be like, this is how I'm feeling.
Totally.
I feel weird about, but the same way, like if I was with me and my wife, I'm not going to like feel weird about it and then hide in the closet and not talk about it. I'm going to be like, hey, I feel really weird. This is what's going on.
Good, yeah.
And it's uncomfortable for a moment. And then suddenly when you share it, it's like, a whole bunch of doors open. You're like, wow, you were feeling that way too. Wow, great. Maybe we were both being stupid,
That's right.
So like you don't really know what's going on the other side until you ask.
Yep.
But you have to be honest. You can't just ask with like a preconceived idea of what they're thinking or what they're being or doing.
Yep.
You got to be straight up about what you know for yourself is true.
Yep.
And then you ask them and say what you say and say your piece and then let them speak.
That's right.
And they'll say what they say, and maybe it doesn't work, maybe it does.
That's okay.
But I feel like you have to come from a place of really deep honesty with yourself.
Yep.
And then it gives an open avenue for the other person to do the same. Because if you meet them there, they can be like, wow, this isn't like a silly thing or a surface level thing. They're really saying something to me. Like,
it's real.
Then they'll be real with you. And sometimes they won't.
Yeah.
And if they're not, then that's fine.
Okay too. Yep.
And you can be like, great, I'm glad we had this conversation.
Yep.
And then make your peace and split. Sometimes people are not ready for that or they don't want to be that. And that's when you know it's time to move on. Because then it's someone else is going to show up that's more appropriate for where you're at.
Yeah. All relationships. I mean, it's just the case with humanity.
Yeah.
Agree. Totally agree.
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah.
Well, I think that was a good like little wrap segment there. Great question.
Yeah, it's good.
Send us some more.
Sure.
We need questions.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
We want those questions, people.
Yeah, it's nice.
Well, thanks for joining us on the Love Spooky Hour.
Yes.
Until next time, everybody.
All right. Cheers.
Love you.
Love you. Happy Halloween.
Spooky. Dress up. Be nice.
Dress up and be nice.
Yep.
Be scary and be nice.
Yeah. All at the same time.
Bye.
Bye.